If you're a coder worried about AI taking over your job, you're not crazy, but you're probably worried about the wrong thing because AI will not replace all developers. It'll only replace a subset of them. And you want to make sure you don't fall in that subset. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to be a programmer in this new world of AI. Most coders think that AI writes code faster than me, and that is a threat. But that is not something that you should be worried about because you weren't hired to simply write code. You were hired to understand what code should exist in the first place. AI will not be replacing decision makers. It will be replacing people who only follow tutorials, who wait to be told what to do, who cannot explain why their code works, and the ones who panic when requirements suddenly change. AI cannot understand messy business problems. It cannot decide trade-offs under real constraints unless those constraints are explicitly mentioned in thorough detail. It cannot debug ambiguous, half-broken legacy systems. It cannot own the decisions when things break in prod. And it cannot communicate with humans or customers who don't even know what they themselves want. The closer you are to judgment and ownership, the less replaceable you are. So these are the exact steps you should take to adapt to AI as a developer. The first thing you need to understand is learning to code using AI is not optional anymore. You're either going to learn to work with AI or you're going to compete with people who are 10, 20 times faster than you. So step one would be to make AI a part of your daily coding. You don't want to treat AI as something that you try sometimes, because if you write code without it, you're training yourself to be slower than the others, like I mentioned. So you want to install one AI Copilot and commit to using it at least for the next 7 days. If you use Visual Studio Code, Microsoft Copilot would be the best choice. Cursor is another great option. You want to make sure that whatever you choose, it lives inside your editor. You don't want to just go to the web and query ChatGPT separately by copy-pasting code. You want an agent that understands your entire repository end to end. Step two is to use AI as the first answer and not the final draft. AI is going to be great at writing the starting boilerplate code, writing repetitive logic, or explaining unfamiliar syntax of others. But it is bad at understanding the system context, making architectural decisions, or knowing which trade-offs matter. So you want to make sure AI writes the first version and then you test it thoroughly from end to end to ensure it is behaving the way you expect it to. You want to own the final decision. Don't just blindly accept the output that AI produces just because it passed a few tests. You need to be able to understand what every single line does. Step three is to start thinking like a senior engineer and prompt accordingly. You don't want to write prompts like write a React component. Instead, you want to give full context. Here's my system. Here are my constraints. Here's what I care about. Now, what are my options and trade-offs? AI will give you a list and you want to brainstorm with it. Good prompts will force you to think, and bad prompts are the ones that you'll just copy-paste the output of. Step four is to use AI as a debugging partner. This is where it shines, and this is where I have personally thrived the most as a dev. I am able to test things so quickly and make decisions in the test environment instead of having to ship to prod just by creating a lot of duplicate data using AI. Every time something breaks, just paste the entire log. You don't even have to use your brain. It'll go to that line and tell you what's wrong. And then you can double check if AI is correct, but it makes the initial stages of debugging so much easier. Don't ask AI to directly fix bugs and rewrite your code. Ask AI what could be going wrong and understand all of the things that are going wrong and then make the decision yourself. Sometimes when I am lazy and just accept AI output, it leads to new bugs, and then when AI fixes those, it reintroduces the old bugs. So I kind of go around in circles until I get out of my lazy loop and actually look at it. And it's a pretty simple fix most of the times. Step five is to learn one layer deeper than your job. If you're a front-end dev, you want to learn the back-end basics. If you're a back-end developer, you want to learn the front-end basics. AI will make surface-level knowledge very cheap. Everybody knows the basics. Everybody can execute the basics even without being programmers. Depth is where your value lies. Step six is practice explaining your code out loud. You need to be able to answer why a certain approach was taken. You can't just say, oh, I asked AI, that was the first output that it gave. You need to know what trade-offs exist and what exactly you would do if you need to scale. And step seven is to measure yourself differently. Stop asking, how fast can I code? Instead, you want to ask, how well do I understand the problem? How well can I prompt? How good are my decisions? How well can I reduce ambiguity? A lot of people out there are not actually scared of AI. They're scared of the fact that AI exposes their weaknesses. If you memorize syntax or optimized purely for interviews by grinding lead code, if you avoided fundamentals, AI will remove that illusion. And the reality check is yes, there will be a lot of entry-level roles that will disappear. 10 junior engineers will be replaced by 2 junior engineers, and the expectations will go up. But the good news is if you adapt quickly and learn what is needed, you're gonna be fine. For people who are willing to think deeper and actually understand business problems, I think AI is the best thing that has happened. And this is the best time to be a developer. I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe for more. See you in the next video.